morning, my candidates. I think you are fine. This epidemic is challenging us, we teachers, and you learners, but we have to follow the SOPs given by the Ministry of Health, and we have to focus on the first epidemic, that was COVID-19, that let us be with the hope that we shall also win this epidemic and we come back for our studies. Though we at home, we have to follow the given SOPs so far. SOPs, that is keeping, you have to keep a distance, keep a distance in everything you're doing at home, and even if you are with your fellows in several activities. Another one is to wash your hands regularly. Wash your hands regularly. Another one is to sanitize using the sanitizer as the ministry tells us every time. Another thing is to put on mask, even if you are alone or you are in public. So after maintaining these four so far, the SOPs, I think you will be healthy and you will have a chance to come and you complete your senior 4. So adding or joining on what we covered in our last lesson, which was online, which I sent you a week back. So let us add on that lesson. So it was bearing, and in this, when I say bearing, what does bearing mean is, bearing as a word needs some learning materials. We need a ruler. This one, I need you to be with a ruler. Another thing, I need you to be with a protractor where you are. Another thing, I need you to be with a compass. These 3 instruments are going to be used in this lesson, and not only these ones, I need you to be with an exercise book where you are going to write what I have taught, and a pen. You need it, and in addition to these learning aids, you have to get a pencil also. So after having all of these learning aids, now let us come back on our lesson about the subtopic in bearing, that is scale drawing. Okay, so when I say scale drawing here, we are going to use these learning aids to construct the movements of several people. They may be planes, they may be several means of transport. So when I say scale drawing, simply just know that here we are going to construct several diagrams representing movements of several means of transport. Though lesson, we looked at what we call ordinary bearing, whereby we are having in ordinary bearing, here we were having two townies, whereby you can say this is townie A and this is townie B. But in this bearing, they give us the movement from north. Don't forget, bearing, this is the amount of angle from north, turned from north, in a clockwise direction. That is bearing. So when they say that the bearing of town B from A is 135 degrees, they may say, what is the bearing of town A from B? Okay. What I am going to do, if the given bearing here in our last lesson told us that if the given bearing is less than 180, what I supposed to do? You get the given bearing, you add it to, you say 135 degrees plus 180 degrees, whereby you have to add to know the bearing of town A from town B. So you have to say 135 plus 180 degrees. These are both are degrees. So we shall get 5 here. Here we shall get 11. You write a 1. You carry 1 to the next place value, getting 315 degrees. So this is the bearing. That is the total amount of angle turned from north to in a clockwise direction, then moving to town B. So that means if from north to south, that is 180 degrees, and this from alternating angles, that means here there is 135 degrees. That means when you sum up 180 plus 135, we shall come with 315 degrees. So this was sent to you in the last lesson. So in addition to that, let us have scale drawing. Here in the scale drawing, we are going to be having more than 2 townies. More than 2 townies, all of them presented on a simple sheet of paper. Okay. Okay, so here in the scale drawing, it is also part of bearing, whereby we need to use all of those instruments. In this, let me have an example in the scale drawing. When I say scale drawing, some of you are there asking, what does that word mean, scale drawing? That means scale. We have to use a scale. Scale, here we have what we call a linear scale. Linear scale, that is where a simple measurement is used to represent a big measurements in distance. Let's say you have 1 centimeter representing 10 kilometers. Whereby when I say 1 centimeter is going to be representing 10 centimeter, that means on the paper or the book we cannot measure kilometer, because 1 kilometer is having 1,000 meter, and 1 meter is having 100 centimeter. That means 1 kilometer is equivalent to 100,000 centimeter. So this one is too big. You cannot measure this distance using this instrument, the ruler.